MacVoices 2024 Holiday Gift Guide number 6, Part 2. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by MacVoices Magazine, our free magazine on Flipboard and on the web. Want to cut through all the noise and find out what you can do with your Apple gear? MacVoices Magazine focuses on just that, aggregating the best how-to articles and information. Get it by searching for MacVoices in the Flipboard app or visiting macvoices.com/magazine. Okay, so that takes us through round 2. Now we go to the back half, round 3, and now you have to start to think about if you have stuff on your list. I've only got 2 more picks. What am I going to pick? And Kelly, you seem to be setting a trend for Kirk, so I'll be interested to see how he reacts to your 3rd round pick.
Yeah, well, this is also just a personal trend because I think this is something that I have picked before, but also specifically, y'all know I love a bag. If I find the right bag, I am a huge fan. I tell everybody about it. And the one I'm picking this year is this little jobby from a company. Which side is it? From a company called Bihn. And this is slightly less local because they're in Seattle, but their bags are all built in Seattle. All of these come from Seattle. They're all built just up there. And I've been to the place where the bags come from, and they're super great. The company is really nice. All the people who work there are really awesome. And this bag, they make a lot of stuff. There's like whole ecosystems that they've got if you want to sign up for that sort of thing. But this one is one that I love, and they have a few different flavors of other things. I've purchased many in my life. This one comes in lots of colors. I was just looking up exactly the name of it because I want to make sure I know which one it is. And it is the 3D Organizer Cube is what it's called. And there are a number of great things about it. One of them is that for those who so desire, it's got this little hooky-doo on the top. And you can use this to hold it up on all kinds of things. I use this constantly. When I first got it, I went, I don't think this is going to be a thing I'm ever going to use. And turns out I use it all the time because I can hang it right over there on that thing so I can rummage around in it when I need to. Like I said, it comes in lots of colors. So if red's not your jam, you know, you want a blue one, a green one, whatever. The colors vary on the site from time to time. It will hold way more stuff than I always think it will. Because I'm always a person that, like, if you tell me this bag will hold 10 items, I'm absolutely putting a minimum of 11 in there, probably 12, because that's me. It has held up like a champ. When you look at this, you can't tell how old this is. And I know how old this is. And I believe this pouch right here, I'm ballparking, but I'm pretty sure it's old enough to drive. And you can't tell by looking at it that it went to at least one Macworld with me. It's been to Dub with me. It's been across the country with me. It's been out of the country with me. And it's got a D-ring on each side. It's got all these little touches that are things that you can tell this is a company that makes stuff, that uses their own stuff, that has used a lot of other stuff, and went, you know what would be awesome is if it had this. So the little D-ring on the end, so you can put a strap on it. The fact that it's got 2 zippers, and they're YKK zippers, they're good zippers. So, so, you know, you can zip it to wherever you need to zip it to. They do make these in other sizes. So if this is great, but you want something a little bigger, and they also sell some small straps. So I have this little strap that came, I think it came with that bag. Like I just ordered it because you can buy it for a couple of extra dollars. And so, you know, it's got a nice little latch on each side. They're super durable. So I can clip that, and then I can clip that to something. So there's, I have a Bihn backpack as well, full disclosure. And it's got a number of spots where there's attachment points for this little strappy-doo. So I can take this, fill it with all of my retractable USB cables. I don't have, it's not for the car, obviously, but like I have a bunch of retractable cables. I dump them all in here, and I can clip this to it, and then, you know, haul it out the side, and I don't have to worry about spilling everything because I just take out the part that has all the cables in it, do what I need to do, zip it back up, and I can stuff it back in the side of my backpack. They're super durable. Like I said, I can't recommend them highly enough. Lots of colors, lots of other sizes. And they're a little more expensive than I can go buy a nylon zipper pouch off Amazon. But like I said, this one is old enough to drive. And if I didn't tell you it was old enough to drive, like, you probably wouldn't notice. I could have gotten this last Christmas. I could have gotten this summer and you wouldn't notice. So the wear is really nice on them. They're made of really durable fabric. And the company, like I said, the company's great. And I like them a lot. So I would recommend them again.
That's another one of those companies that their products show up every year in the gift guide picked by someone. So
I think one year I just recommended them, like, go take however much money you have to spend on people and go to the website and go, I have $200 for this person, I have $20 for this person, and find the thing that Tom Bihn sells at that price point and buy it for somebody, because it will never be a bad decision.
Yeah. Great pick.
Yeah.
Ben, third round.
Fight.
It's a Mortal Kombat joke. Okay. For the last 10 years, I have pretty much used one type of on-ear headphones and have had very good results with that. That is the Beats Solo line, and here is the newest version, the Solo 4. And yes, Kelly, it comes with a bag. I find the audio quality to always be solid. I find them to be very comfortable wear, and which for me that's a big thing, because I have a really high-end set of headphones that I can't wear because it gives me tension headaches. But there are a couple things with the Solo 4s opposed to the other ones. Number one, it still retains that 3.5 millimeter jack and includes the cable. And it now has USB-C for both charging and audio. And if that isn't enough to sell you on them, they're currently on sale for $100, half off. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will be, but it still will be by the time this airs. But I just love them to death. They don't have noise cancellation. I don't think they need it. There is a comfortable pair of versatile headphones that are not very expensive and work flawlessly in the Apple ecosystem because, well, they're from Apple.
Ben, judging by the look on Kelly's face and the look on Kirk's face, you may have just sold two pairs right there.
I've got Solo 3s, and of course, it's one of my last micro USB devices that I have. Yeah. So I just looked here on Amazon. It's not quite half off, but it is 40% off, and that's very tempting. I can dump these on eBay for half the price of the new one, so I'll be checking that later.
Yeah, I had the Solo 3s before my lovely nephew borrowed them and destroyed them. I had the Solo Pros with that stupid lightning cable that the AirPods Max also have. But these basically correct everything that I wanted with the previous versions of the Solo line. I love them.
I noticed that they're not on sale at the Apple Store.
No, they're on sale everywhere else, though.
Yeah. When I bought
now, are
these,
those on
Store,
ear or are they over ear?
They are on ear.
On ear, okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty comfortable. They're not the most comfortable, but they're pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask both of you, that question, as people have used them, because I've noticed I've had multiple over the ear headphones, and I prefer those, but so often they just my ears get hot. I mean, there's no other way to say it, and in that closed environment. Is that something that they figure out a way around that, or does that still happen? Is that just the nature of over-ear headphones?
Well, I mean, these are on. Yeah, these are on, not over.
Oh, these are on. Excuse me. Oh, okay.
They are warmer. Unlike, say, the AirPods Max, that's over ear, and that goes around your ear, and those are a bit more comfortable.
Right. Okay. Good. I think you at least hit 2 home runs, Ben, right here on the show before it ever airs.
Hey, yes, Apple affiliate links, please.
Don't I wish, really?
All right, Kirk, what do you have for round 3?
I'm not following Kelly this time. This is totally different. So you know that I lived in France for a long time, almost 30 years. I lived in Paris for several years. And one of the sort of guiding lights in Paris was Notre Dame Cathedral. And when it burned 5 years ago, it was incredibly painful. It's reopening tomorrow. We're recording this on the 6th of December. It's reopening tomorrow. And I've seen some of the pictures. It's incredibly stunning because they didn't just rebuild the roof. They cleaned everything. Now, if you've ever traveled a lot in Europe and seen an old, dirty cathedral like in Cologne in Germany, I think they've never cleaned it, and a cathedral has been cleaned, it's like night and day. Even though a lot of people are saying it doesn't look right, it's because there's hundreds of years of grime that they took off. And I find it really moving to see what they've done. So before I even saw the pictures, I bought this in the summer. This is a 4,400 piece Lego Notre Dame Cathedral model. I buy like one adultish Lego. I'm trying to get this in frame every couple of years. How can I get here? I don't know how you can see the whole thing.
Go the other direction.
That's the other way. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's on my list. How detailed it is. It's not that expensive. It was 200 pounds. It's probably $200-ish or 220 or whatever. You might even get it on sale. I just, it's such a landmark. And see, I just broke a piece off picking it up there. I hate that with Lego. It's such a landmark, and it was so nice to see the availability of this as a reminder. Now I'm dropping pieces. I'll put this down for now. It was so nice to see this as a reminder of what the cathedral was and could be. And if you look at the pictures, there's a New York Times article today with like a interactive thing showing the different stages as it was originally built and with photos. It's really beautiful. If you get a chance to go to Paris, it's worth checking out. It's the kind of place where there was a period when I was working teaching English to executives in Paris, going from company to company, and I'd walk by there and raining outside, you go into Notre Dame for 10 minutes and you just look around. You don't have to pay to go in or anything. And in fact, they wanted to make it, they wanted to charge people money to go in after the repairs, but they can't do that in France. It's just the church. You can't do that. But it's just a place that everyone in Paris knows, even if you're not a tourist. It's just from the center of Paris, you can see the spire all over the place, and it's kind of tells you how to get where you're going. So Lego, 4,400 pieces, took a lot of time to do this. I built this in July while I was watching the Tour de France on weekends, and it took several weekends to do it.
That was going to be my first question: is how long did it take? Because 4,400 pieces.
It's a pretty long build, yeah.
Yeah, and the intricacy of it, though, is phenomenal.
Well, even more so, you can't see the inside, but the inside is even more intricate with the columns and everything. But it's like it's hidden because you can't even look inside to see it.
But you build the inside. I mean, you
build
the inside. Really? Wow. That might be one of the first things I've ever been tempted with all the Lego models that have been shown, that it might be fun to put that one together and then have it. So, yeah, spending my money.
Don't pieces fall off and you have to figure out how to put it back together.
It's part of the challenge, right?
I guess. I don't know. I can't figure this out. Anyway, you guys go on and I'll try and put this back together. It's falling off.
Hopefully it'll get done faster than the repairs that they had to do with the fire. I'm going to, Kirk, I want to follow Kelly this time a little bit because I too like bags. And I find that, I like bags for different functions, different occasions. This one is going to be a little bit of a surprise because it's not one of my big bags. I picked this up from STM. They're an Australian bag company that I dearly love. I just think that pretty much anything they do is at least worth looking at, if not buying.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Saga backpack. It will fit a 15-inch laptop. It is not built it's built to carry around a 15-inch laptop, not to protect a 15-inch laptop if you're hard on your gear or throwing it around. But I really didn't buy it for that. I just bought it because it is a nice small bag that I can easily fit maybe an iPad mini or even my bigger iPad in, but with a few other things. But I don't need to worry about, lugging it really. It's so light and it's small, and it sort of restricts me from carrying everything that I might need and sort of forces me down into things that I just really have to have for whatever trip I'm going on. And I mean trip like an afternoon trip or a short business trip or something. So I think it only has just a couple pockets. So it's not big and sophisticated. I pick those other times for different purposes. But if you want just a nice light backpack that can handle a laptop, this would be great maybe for a student during the day because they don't want to carry around a lot of stuff. It's well worth looking into. So first of all, check out the STM Saga backpack, but then check out all the STM bags because they are all great. And they're really nice people. I've talked to them, a number of times at CES. You can go back and look at those interviews, but it's always just fun to stop by their booth, see what they've come up with next, and add them to my collection. So the STM
I remember
Saga.
meeting them at Macworld, and I've been a fan ever since. So yeah, I keep an eye on them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about bag manufacturers, but somehow you develop a relationship with your bag, and I guess therefore with the company, and you're anxious to see what they come out with next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And it's a short list of the ones that I actually keep an eye on, and they're on it. So yeah.
All right. So that means we are at round 4. Last pick. So Kelly, what's your best last pick?
This is another local company, and this is exceedingly local because they're maybe 2 miles from my house. I'm not even sure if it's that far. And that company is Leatherman. So if you're familiar with the multi-tool as a concept, take the Swiss Army knife and level it up in a couple of ways, get rid of the red outside shell, and it's called Leatherman. And I usually have mine right here in front of me, and I am just now realizing that I don't see it here. So Chuck, I'm going to rely on you for that. But here's the thing that I'm specifically going to point out is that if you go to their website, they have a custom shop. And so you can get one that has a particular pattern on it, or someone's name, or you can get a color that you can get a color and have a pattern engraved on it or something. And they do this for a variety of their different tools. So if you know someone who has a very particular use case, you can get the one that I would recommend for some people is called the Skeletool because it's very lightweight. And, if you know somebody who needs all the things that fold out like this, power to them. Not everyone does. So something you can drop in the side of your bag and keep as a nice everyday carry that's got a good screwdriver, a sharp enough edge on the nail file. You can open Amazon packages, things like that. That would be the one that I would pick. I think it's just the plain. Let me just look at the bottom of the page here. The plain old Skeletool is the one, and it's actually 20% off right now as we record this. But you can go to their custom store and you can pick one, you can pick colors, and then based on what you get, there are different engraving options and customization options you can get for somebody. But you can get someone a very particular gift if you're noting a particularly momentous birthday or a first Christmas together, or something like this can be a really awesome gift for that. And they're super cool. I've used a Leatherman forever. When I got married back in the day, the bridesmaids gifts that I gave everyone were it's called a Leatherman Micra. It fits on your keychain. I didn't buy everybody a dumb pair of earrings or anything. And everybody said, this is the best gift. And I know at least 2 people who are still carrying that around with them today. And I'm not going to tell you how long I've been married, but it's been a long time. So it's a pretty solid seal of approval. Everyone I've given one to has really appreciated it. And they're super great. They're really reliable, like most things made of various metals. A little bit of maintenance goes a long way. But they also make some that are TSA compatible. So like Chuck, someone like you who lives that jet setting lifestyle, if you leave it in your bag, you can still have useful tools for things without having it seized at the airport. So, it's nice to have a little screwdriver once in a while because you can do a lot of things with it. Or just, I know I have a nail file if something weird happens to a fingernail or something, that kind of stuff. And the pliers are like, I don't remember which one it is I have in my purse right now. It's not the Micra. I got a slightly bigger one. And I thought I'm never going to use the pliers, but like I want something that the TSA isn't going to take if I forget to take it out of my bag. And I use the pliers a lot more than I thought I would. So there's a lot of like small useful tools on them. You can get all kinds of different ones. They have lots of different price points, whether you want to customize one or not. And they're, like I said, they're just up there. So I recommend them very highly. And I think they also make really great gifts.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Not being seized at the airport is a good thing. No question about that.
Yes. It's very, very nice. And they do have a way you can filter by that, I believe. And they have some, like if you're a medic and you need like a particular pair of scissors that has like extra tools that go along with that. Like there's some very particular ones on there that are super interesting. I like sometimes to just go through and see what they've released recently to see like who they're working with and what, because anytime they get a lot of feedback about something, like they will revise a tool and add something or take something away that nobody's using and stuff like that. So I always kind of like to see what they're up to, and they're cool and local. So
very nice. Very nice. Ben, is it safe to say that the cat is not your pick?
No. But he has sure picked me.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. Yeah.
Since I've been trying to put him down for the last 3 minutes, he's having nothing of it. So,
yeah. Kirk looks like he can relate to that.
Yes.
Kirk feels your pain. Yeah.
Yes. Why Leo is not the pick, SetApp is. I mean, very nice. What can I say? There are multiple utilities like Gemini or whatever they call it now. Clean My Mac, iStat Menu, Clean Shot X. Thanks, Leo. It's just for just a few dollars a month, you get all these great apps that are really useful, curated by good people that know the Mac. A lot of them also have iOS versions. It's, ever since MacPaw released SetApp, it's been an integral part of using my Mac.
Ben, that's a really good way to say it. I'm right there with you, and it's one of those things where they do a great job of supporting the developers. It saves you money as a customer, and it also lets you kind of dip in and out of things that if you see an app and it's already in SetApp, if you're paying the subscription, you've already got access to it. And you don't necessarily have to go and purchase it. You can, obviously, or you can just use the SetApp version. But I'm with you. I gave up trying to keep track of how many SetApp apps that I use, because they're not just with all due respect to developers out there, they're not just always the no name. They're not the no name ones. They're the names that you know, the names you trust, and you can feel good about using them. So, yeah.
They might not all be major studios, but the apps because of their quality.
All right. Yeah. Great pick. All right. Kirk, last one of this year's holiday gift guide.
Okay, so I've got a bunch of stuff on my list. I'm trying to figure out which one. Should I do that one or that one or that one? Because I made a list of 7. I didn't know how many we were going to have, and once I think last year or the year before it was just you and me, so we were doing more picks. You didn't have anyone else in my time zone. I'm going to pick. Do y'all like movies?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to pick a movie. Um, I'm a pretty big. I've been a pretty big film fan for a long time, and I don't tend to go for blockbuster-ish films, right? I don't go to superhero films and whatever extended universe and Star Wars and Star Trek. But one of the best films I've seen in many, many years was Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. I recently upgraded my Blu-ray player to get a 4K Blu-ray player, and I bought the film in 4K HD, and I've got a 65-inch LG, whatever it is, OLED TV, and I've got a Sonos Arc and surround sound system. And what an experience. I mean, the quality of these 4K Blu-rays and the quality of his filming. Now, I'm not the guy who usually watches the special features, but I did in this, and he shows how they shot it with these massive IMAX cameras that are like the size of freezers. And it was all the visual effects were done on film, which was actually quite surprising. And he has an approach to cinema that I find really interesting, that it's not just the story, but the way the story is created, the everything that goes in, the things that we don't see, right? I think the story is extraordinary. I think the acting is wonderful. I'm currently reading the biography that it was based on. It was on a Kindle deal with the day a few months ago. And reading that biography, I'm realizing that us who grew up in the shadow of this, we don't seem to think that this was the most important event that happened in human history was the atomic bomb. And I think even the film misses out on that because it shows a bit of Oppenheimer's actions afterwards to try and like get the United States to give all the science about the bomb to the Russians so no one can get ahead and, to keep it from being used. But I just think it's a wonderful film in terms of story, in terms of acting, in terms of what it represents as a historical event as well. So Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan.
That's a great pick. I agree with everything you said, and I might add to it as I think we're of a similar, something close to a similar vintage. I think it's really interesting the slant it takes on how the bomb is viewed now and the use of the bomb versus how it was viewed then, and even the moral struggles some of the scientists had with it then versus what we've seen now. So, yeah, I've honestly, it was one of those films that I was going to watch and I just never got around to it. And then when I finally did, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I didn't watch this sooner because it is just so good. So that's a phenomenal pick.
I read an interview with Christopher Nolan. If you look at the film, it's in 3 parts, and he described it as the origin story, the heist film, as they're getting all the people together, and then the courtroom drama. And that's really what it is. And when you watch it, it kind of has those 3 acts with 3 acts within each one of them. It's a really interesting hybrid of styles. The use of black and white and color is also quite interesting. It obviously can't tell the whole story because, I mean, the biography is like 800 pages long. And it's even more than just the biography. It's, it's decades of a man's life. But yeah, I mean, we're the same vintage. I never did the duck and cover, but we had these monthly civil defense drills where we'd have to go to the church across the street from my school and go down to the basement. And they had these big green barrels with the civil defense triangle on them with water. And they had these big cartons of saltine crackers. Like in the event of a nuclear attack, we're supposed to live on saltine crackers and water.
Yeah. That's very different times. Very different times.
Yeah.
Well, my last pick is going to be something that I seem to pick every year, and I do so because I use it at least a few times a month, at least. And it's something that I think everybody should seriously consider if you have a lot of storage needs or if you are very, very serious about your backups. And that's the OWC Dual Bay Drive Dock. In a previous show, and I guess I sort of ended up picking them out of order, but I recommended some hard drive cases that will protect your 3.5 drives when they're just bare drives. and so that you can take them to the bank and stick them in the safe deposit box and make sure they're safe. But to utilize that, you have to have some way to put the data on those drives. And the drive dock is, a lot of us used to refer to them as drive toasters, because it's like dropping a piece of bread down in the toaster. And same thing here. You drop a raw drive in, and this particular dock connects by USB-C, so it's fast, or relatively speaking fast. And then you can back up your hard drive or your photos or your movies or whatever it is that you want. If you can swap out the drives, you can because it's a dual bay, you can duplicate from one drive to another. It's got so many just nice features. It's OWC, so that speaks for itself. But it's one of those things that, yeah, I just have a little ritual that every quarter or so, I back up some of my most critical stuff, including the current state of my production machine, and then get a chance in a couple of days and take it to the bank and swap it out for one of my other ones. Just because I take my not but just my data, but my production environment that seriously, and that's what one of the big things I'm trying to preserve here. But it's a great way to expand your storage for not a lot of money. Bare drives are getting cheaper by the day, or the capacity is going up depending on which one you're measuring. So why wouldn't you do this? And it's like, for an $80 investment, you can have basically unlimited hard drive space. It just won't be available right on demand. But if you're careful about it and take the boxes I recommended and label them, you can always, drop back to a previous version, or what's on those drives that's stored there, and you can pop them back in, and everything becomes fully accessible once again. So the OWC dual bay drive dock, I think should be a piece of essential gear for you. Kirk?
And if you use Carbon Copy Cloner, you can set up backup routines that work when a disk is mounted. So let's say you've got 4 different disks for 4 different backups. You just put a disk in, wait till it spins down, take it out, because Carbon Copy Cloner can eject it when it's finished. So you take it out, put the next one in. Carbon Copy Cloner will do all that automatically.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That's
I think
it's a good toaster
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's a really inexpensive way to have an offsite backup, even if you don't take it to the bank. If you have a person that you visit regularly and you just like, can I stick this in your broom closet, in the coat closet, whatever, and you swap that out every month or two, and then, like, worst case, if you can go to their house and get a drive, and maybe you lost a month of work, but it was only a month of work and not everything, and just having that option. And it's less than $100 for a drive. I don't remember what the dock goes for now these days, the drive toaster, but it's really inexpensive. It's not a subscription, which is also a point in its favor. You can carbon copy clone it and just have an exact duplicate of your computer somewhere else, and make the IT people in your family happy by following that 3-2-1 rule of backups.
Right now, Kelly, the drive dock itself is going for $80 on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you pick up, let's just say for a 4 terabyte drive,
you can get like 14 terabyte drives now.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think we just put 12s in the NAS I have in the closet behind me. I think we just got another pair of 12, so I think I've got 48 terabytes in the NAS that's in that closet right back there.
Yeah, Seagate Barracuda right now.
Back 20 years of megabytes, and now thinking of so many terabytes that you can have in your closet.
Yeah, I did tech support for the 1 gigabyte Apple branded external hard drive, and I remember everyone's reaction to that being, "What does a person do with a gigabyte of space?"
Yep. The Seagate, I'm not endorsing this. It's just by way of reference. The Seagate Barracuda 4 terabyte drive is $85. And that's a 4 terabyte drive. So like Kirk said, you can get several multi terabyte drives for super affordable prices. So you can back up a lot of things. And if you, depending on how you split it up, have multiple copies of that same set of data that you can then keep one at home, keep one in the bank vault. If they're family photos, you can give one then to other people. So yeah, it's just, again, it's a perennial pick, but it's one of those that I just feel like everybody should seriously consider.
That's why it keeps coming back.
Yeah, that was great. A lot of diverse picks. Nobody stole anything. In fact, Kirk, you played off Kelly several times, and actually so did I. So
and Ben's mouse was in my list.
Ben's mouse. Yeah,
I got 3 more things in my list.
Hang on to them for next year. Next
year there'll be other stuff.
Yeah, I know. Let's go around and let folks know where they can find you when you're not here, and then we'll get off and go hit the holidays. Kelly, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
You can generally find me over on Mastodon, where I am verso at mastodon.social. You can find me as I'm just getting moved in, so this is very new. You won't see much there at the moment, but verso at pixelfed.social, because I'm trying to get off of Instagram. And you can find me occasionally hassling Chuck on Tuesdays during MacVoices Live. You can find me in the after show at the after show podcast at aftershowpodcast.com. Mike Rose and I are recording a holiday episode later today with a special guest that you can go check out. And the rest of the time, you can find me over on the Incomparable Network, where I talk about primarily, I talk about all those movies that Kirk doesn't go to the theater and see, and lots of other pop culture things, because I'm very much a pop culture nerd. So you can find me talking about lots of stuff over there, or as an agent of chaos on some of the game show episodes, which is always a good time. And yeah, the rest of the time I am goofing off with my Switch or playing Pokemon Go.
Very nice. Thank you, Kelly. Have a great holiday.
Thanks, Chuck. You too.
Ben Roethig, thank you for being here. Where can folks find you?
Well, Chuck, you can find me at Ben Roethig on your social media of choice. I'm on pretty much all of them at this point, unless there have been about 5 more since we started this show, which is entirely plausible. You can find my writings and ravings at roethigtech.com. You can also find me on such podcasts occasionally as In Touch with iOS of Dave Ginsburg, The Mac Show on the British Tech Network, and when time allows, a little show we might have heard of called MacVoices Live on Tuesdays.
Thank you, Ben. Really appreciate you being here. Hope you have a great holiday.
Thank you, Chuck.
Kirk McElhearn, thank you so much. Please don't be insulted by Ben's little attempt at a British accent. We forgive him. You couldn't even tell, right?
No, I thought he was, coughing or something.
Oh, oh man. Where can folks find you, Kirk?
You can find me at kirkville.com. That's kirkville.com. You can find me at Blue Sky at, you ready for this? At kirkville.com, because you can you can switch your handle to your domain. I link to all the articles that are published in the podcast episodes I do on my website, kirkville.com. So I'm not going to mention them all. You can find everything there.
Great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We will get together more often, because I know you have an upcoming project that we want to talk about. So, yeah. But we'll tease it right there. Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices, and this is one of our holiday gift guide shows. You can find all the picks to everything in the show notes to this episode. You can find them on the master list on the Mac Voices website under the news section. And you can also find them in the 2024 MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide Flipboard magazine, which you can access by Flipboard, by the web, and also in RSS. We'll be back with more. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page. And get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.